He's back! The Doctor is back, David Tennant is back, Catherine Tate is back, lots of people are back, and we're back to review another episode of Doctor Who. Hi.
Hi.
The Star Beast is the brand new episode of Doctor Who which we have just finished watching. I say we have just finished watching. I have finished watching all of it. Paige only watched some of it.
I missed a long portion of it in the middle.
So you saw the beginning.
Yeah, and
You saw the end.
And then
The middle bit.
And then I missed
It's going to make reviewing it a bit difficult for you. But there we go. Never mind. Wow, what an episode. What a return. I think there's just so much. There's so much to talk about in this episode. Where do we start? Let's talk about the characters. Because we got, obviously, David Tennant back as the Doctor. Who feels very much like he used to as the 10th Doctor. With a sprinkling of new little bits here and there. Like where he says that... he loves Donna, as a friend, and he says, "Oh, do I say that sort of stuff now?" There's little sprinklings of new things there, but it's still kind of the David, as he said in the interviews. Why would he return? Why would people want him to return if not to be the Doctor they know him as? And it works. What did you think of David Tennant, Doctor? What you saw of him there?
Good.
Yeah. You've watched a few of the old episodes of him with me, haven't you? Do you think he was different?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. Do you prefer him? Which one do you prefer, the old version of him or the new version of him?
The new version.
Cool. Excellent. Then there's Donna, of course, as well. She, I think she had a lot of evolution from where we last saw her. She feels a lot more grown up, a lot more mature in terms of her attitude, and it's probably partly having a family has done that to her, but just even the things where like she lost her job, just how she reacted to that in this compared to how she would have reacted to it back in series 4 is completely different. She's changed a lot. We saw a lot of development of her in series 4, but with her memory wipe, the kind of impression was left that she might go back to how she was before. But it's good to see that she's continued to develop after that. One thing, though, that towards the end of it kind of hinted that partly how she was acting and her altruistic nature, that giving away her lottery money, for instance, to charities, was partly down to the influence of the sort of remnants of the Doctor inside of her. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I kind of want it to just be her own development, rather than an external influence making her do that. So I'm a bit unsure about that, but I hope that the just the general having a family and the very protectiveness she feels over Rose has also contributed to how she would have been, and being at least a little bit like that. She may not have given away all the money had the Doctor's influence not been there, but, she still would have matured. Do you like Donna? Have you seen any previous Donna episodes? I can't remember if I've shown you any of those ones.
I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll have to watch some at some point. What did you think of her as a character? Did you like her?
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Oh, one little cameo at the beginning that I really loved, because I really love this guy. A comedian, I've forgotten his name now. Why have I gone blank on his name? But there's a comedian who does these little skits on, Facebook and TikTok and stuff, where he's a newsreader, and it's usually political commentary type comedy. And he was in this. I think his name's Matt something, but he had a very small cameo at the beginning of this, and loved it just because I love his comedy. It was good to see him. He was a newsreader at the begining, just when they were reporting on the crash of the spaceship. There was a newsreader, but I see him pop up on sort of YouTube and Facebook Reels and things like that all the time. He's a very funny guy. We get the new character of Shirley Ann Bingham, who is the unit scientific advisor number 50-something. I can't remember the exact number. The Doctor says he was unit scientific advisor number 1. Not strictly true. Technically, Liz Shaw was scientific advisor before he even turned up. So technically, he's scientific advisor number 2. But, we'll let him off. It's been a long time since then. And she has a very cool wheelchair. We didn't see too much of her. We got to get much of a gist of her character. But she does have a very cool wheelchair. Were you there for the wheelchair bit? Or were you...
Where?
Did you see the rockets come out of the wheelchair?
What?
Did she? No, clearly not.
What? I didn't understand what you said.
Did you see the woman in the wheelchair?
Yes.
Who works for UNIT, the military group. So at one point, she's a good guy, and while helping the Doctor escape, she fires a rocket out of her. She has a button on her wheelchair. The wheelchair fires a rocket. Didn't see that bit?
No.
It was cool. The action in this, and you can really tell the money that's gone into this now. The action on it the action scenes are just brilliant. The assault on the house was fantastic. Can I also say, Sonic Screwdriver seems to have got some new abilities. Force shields. When is it? I've never seen it been able to do that before. That's pretty cool. What else did it do? It wasn't a new. It wasn't necessarily a new ability of the Sonic Screwdriver. It's always been able to resonate concrete, but it looked fantastic as a sort of another example of how much money has been spent on this show. The resonating mortar between the bricks just looked fantastic. And this show has gone up a whole new level on terms of its visual quality as well, I think. Is there anything you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Because you missed half the episode. So obviously Rose is a trans character, and they do deal with that. They acknowledge it, and this is what I would expect from Russell T Davies's writing. Back in series 1 to 4. In terms of like the background and the life of the family and what they were going through in their personal lives and the things that affected them on a personal level were always in there. Think like Rose and her father who died when she was a child. That was like such a significant portion of her life, and so it eventually was the subject of an episode. But before that, even, it was there in the background. It was mentioned. It was talked about. Her being. It factored into her character. So you get lines here and there, and they've done the same thing here with one of the most important factors of Rosa's life is the fact that she's trans, and you get some bullies dead naming her as they ride up the streets. You get even dealing with the fact that how this plays into family relationships, even supportive ones, where you've got her grandmother accidentally using the wrong pronouns for her. So I like the fact that it plays in there. It plays into the sort of theming later on as well, where you've got the conclusion, and which we'll get to in a minute, but the reference to the Dr. Donna being binary, and then the fact they got passed down and using that kind of analogy of like not being binary was interesting as well. Did you see the Doctor being a judge taking out the wig? Nope.
What wig?
He put on a wig. Did you see him put on the wig?
No. What did the wig look like?
It was a judge's wig. Do you know what a judge's wig looks like? So if you go to court in the UK, the judge will be wearing a white wig. No?
Why?
I know why. Why do UK judges do that? And barristers, they have to wear these silly wigs. It's silly, but they do. Anyway, yeah. Where did he get that wig from? It was an interesting scene because it was the scene where the Meep got revealed to be a bad guy. And those of us that are familiar with the background in the comics of Beep the Meep will have known this was coming. But the Meep, cute little character when first found, eventually turns out to be actually a manipulative, evil warlord. And the actor that plays that, Miriam Marglows. I'm going to get names wrong all the time in this. Did a fantastic job. The voice was perfect, both in cute and evil modes. So well done there. But where did he get that wig from? He suddenly turns around and gets the Wrath Warriors there, the Doctor does, and is like, right, court's in session, shadow proclamation, blah, blah, blah. And he pulls this wig out of his hat, out of his coat. Does he just have that with him, or does he have a magic coat with pockets that can get anything in it? Bigger on the inside pockets, possibly. So what else is there to say? Lots of great action, lots of great characters. I thought that it concluded as I would expect it to. It was a very standard Doctor Who adventure in that way. It was good that Rose came in, and and it was, quite touching when the Doctor realised he had to restore Donna's memory. You get a little bit that's a bit like the Winter Soldier with him reeling off these code words to return her memory. You get this massive big glow, and she's the Dr. Donna again, flipping switches, doing gobbledygook and all that sort of stuff, the techno babble, and knowing what she does. And then, yes?
Who's the boss?
Who's the boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've written down there. Who is the boss? That's what the meep refers to the boss later. And I was wondering, who is the boss? And the reveal that the reason that Donna can survive is because she's had a child and passed some of that Dr. Donna-ness down through there. So it's not, all the Time Lord energy isn't concentrated just in her now. It's split between her and Rose. So they can share it, and it's not too much of a burden for one person. Was a good way out for keeping her alive. And also a great way to give Rose a moment, because she also has this knowledge that comes with being the Dr. Donna. I suppose she's the Rose Doctor, Dr. Rose, I guess. And that helps as well from the sidelines as well in terms of saving the day. So that was lovely. And then they give it all up at the end. They manage to release the energy. And presumably they're okay. And the Meep is captured, and all is well with the world. Then we get the TARDIS reveal, because the TARDIS has changed while the Doctor's been off on this adventure, and it's new to him too. And what a TARDIS it is. I'll do a more in-depth video on my thoughts. But what did you think of the new TARDIS? You were back for that.
Good. Except for the part when Donna spilled the tea and it almost exploded.
Yeah. New total Donna thing to do. Brand new spanking TARDIS, and she manages to spill coffee on the console, and real bad reaction of the TARDIS to having a bit of coffee spilt on it, flames and everything, and who knows where they're off to next. I guess we'll find out next week, because we didn't even get a next time on that, so I'm very much looking forward to that. We'll be back hopefully next time. Paige will have watched the whole episode. She'll go and catch up on this one now, I think. But I wanted to get this review out, so I told her we couldn't wait for that. But so sorry about that. We'll be back next week to review the next episode. Thanks for watching. Tell us what you thought of this episode down below. Who was your favourite character in it? Who was your favourite character in it?
Rose.
Rose. Cool. And what bit you liked best? Let me know in the comments below.
Who was your favourite character?
My favourite character... it was just great. It was great seeing David Tennant back as the Doctor. I really did like that. And I really liked Beep the Meep, or the Meep, or whatever you're calling it. But I liked it in both its cute form and its evil form. When it did that switch, that was really good as well. So I think those two are my top two out of the episode. Thanks for watching. Don't let us know in the comments below what you thought. And goodbye. Did you say goodbye? Did you wave?
Bye-bye.